Hello everyone! Are you ready for some seriously awesome entertainment? Today, we're back on a journey around the world with incredible moments captured on real camera footage. Don't miss a single unforgettable second.
I'm trying!
Dad, drop your phone. It's not worth it at this point. It's not worth it. Dad, drop your phone. Stop.
Residents of Iowa stopped to capture the sight of massive storm clouds, but nature decided to put on a real show for the camera. In 2023, one of India's cities faced a massive flood. A once calm river overflowed, turning into a destructive force that eroded the banks and swept away houses with ease. This driver was in the wrong place at the wrong time. One thing's for sure, he was lucky to get away with just a scare and a few scratches on the car. In less than 2 minutes, a completely dry spot was suddenly overwhelmed by a massive surge of water. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but they'll never forget such a dramatic display of nature's power. Hawaii feels like paradise, but it can turn into a nightmare in an instant, all because of its active volcano, one of the most active in the world. If you're careful, you can marvel at the mesmerising streams of lava, a sight you'd never experience in everyday life.
Lawine! Lawine!
Thanks to this skier, you'll get to experience what it's like to be caught in a small avalanche. It's hard to call this just bad weather. It looks more like the beginning of an apocalypse. The hailstorm lasted only 5 minutes, but managed to cause significant damage to cars and houses. In Taiwan, there are 2 to 4 earthquakes every year, but for cats, each one feels like a traumatic event. Landslides can be triggered by various factors, including a heavy rainfall. A dramatic example was recorded in India, where drivers, though safely away from danger, were shocked to see a section of a mountain crumble and vanish into a ravine before their very eyes. In 2023, one of India's states was struck by natural disasters. Torrential rains fell for several consecutive days, causing many rivers to overflow. During that time, the cities were hit by severe floods that destroyed everything in their path. Driving in the mountains is a true pleasure, with breathtaking views around every corner. However, it can also be quite dangerous. The car's dashcam recorded a moment that looked like an explosion, with a cloud forming in the air. At first glance, it could easily be mistaken for one, but in reality, it was the sudden collapse of an avalanche. Fortunately, everyone managed to stop in time. Now you know what 120 km/h winds looks like, and the kind of destruction such a wild force can unleash. Even century-old trees couldn't withstand its fury, and locals had to survive several days without electricity. This is one of nature's ways of reminding us of its immense power. A video from Switzerland captures a massive landslide, where 700,000 cubic meters of rock came crashing down in an instant. Cyclones are dangerous not just because the pressure shifts can impact your well-being, but also because of the fierce winds. It's best to stay inside during one of them. No urgent matter is worth going outside in such weather. This airshow made the audience at the beach get goosebumps because of the pilot's skills. Nothing to worry about. That tornado's just the opening act for today's classic football match. Those pilots have the skill and determination to carry out their missions anytime, anywhere. Even though it looked scary, it was still mercilessly knocked down by the tanker truck. Someone hired a perfectionist demolition worker, and they ruined our whole show. He escaped that situation thanks to skill or luck. Moving windmill blades is not easy, but they have created a spectacular sight. Look forward to the next part of Ghost Rider, with someone driving that excavator. That's why your package hasn't been delivered yet. A silly game won by stupidity. It seems the chair sensed something odd and had to leave. The most impressive thing here is the confidence of these people standing below and watching the water flow. From this angle, it seems like nature is really elevating its art game. Could this be called a Tesla saw? Today is probably the worst working day for this crane operator. The technique of making reinforced concrete usually takes a lot of time, but not for this guy. These workers are setting a high standard for team spirit. This is why we must always be careful walking under roofs laden with snow. Did you know that washing a car can be natural and very beautiful? After seeing that phenomenon on TV, you know it's a sign to run. seems that stories like this usually end with, and they lived happily ever after. Rest assured, it's just an effect in a 5D cinema. This clip is about global warming. News of cracks appearing in Kenya has spread widely, with many believing it's evidence of Africa splitting apart before our eyes. Looking down from above, the glory hole at Lake Berryessa resembles a path leading to the centre of the Earth. The water flows from the hydroelectric reservoir downstream.